few weeks ago, I looked back at my 10 favorite and 10 least favorite horror movies of 2022. And now, in this video, rather than looking back at the year that was, it's instead time to look ahead, to discuss my most anticipated horror movies coming out this year. Starting in January, we have Megan, the evil AI doll movie. Missing, a semi-sequel to 2018's Searching. Skinamarink, which is already getting early internet buzz as the scariest movie of the year. Infinity Pool, Brandon Cronenberg's latest, starring Mia Goth. In February, we're getting Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan's newest film, and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, a slasher reimagining of the beloved children's character. Next, coming up in March, is Scream 6, which is set in the Big Apple and will once again star everyone's current obsession, Jenna Ortega. In April, there is Renfield, a Dracula story starring Nicolas Cage, The Pope's Exorcist starring Russell Crowe, and Evil Dead Rise, the newest Evil Dead sequel now set in an apartment complex rather than a cabin. In July, we'll be getting Insidious 5, directed by the franchise's leading man, Patrick Wilson, and Shelby Oaks, YouTuber Chris Stuckman's fan-funded first feature film. In September, The Nun 2 comes out, and in October, despite not a single person wanting it, Blumhouse will be releasing a remake of The Exorcist. Also in October, right in time for the Halloween season, we will be getting Saw 10. Alright, and that's pretty much the 2023 calendar in a nutshell. I know that seemed like a pretty thin list, and I know many of you are screaming at your computer that I forgot some specific movie, and that is because since I'm doing this so early in the year, there are just so many movies with TBD release dates. Movies that claim they are coming out in 2023, but have yet to state exactly when. These include the Salem's Lot remake, Cuckoo starring Euphoria's Hunter Schafer, Maxine, the third movie in the trilogy after X and Pearl, Cello, directed by Saw's Darren Lynn Bousman, The Boogeyman, which is based on a story from Stephen King, Below, directed by Lights Out and Shazam's David F. Sandberg, Cobweb, starring Homelander, aka Anthony Starr, VHS 85 with the returning David Bruckner, Five Nights at Freddy's, and a reboot of The Strangers, starring Riverdale's Madeline Pesh. I'm absolutely certain some of these movies will get release dates by the time you're watching this video. I'm also 100% positive a few other movies I listed will get pushed back all the way into 2024 or 2025. I'm just working with the information I have currently. Hopefully this list is at least, 90% accurate by the time I release it. Of every movie I just rattled off, some that stand out to me as the most notable or interesting are Scream 6, this is obvious. The new teaser made this sequel look really sinister, and even though I was burned by Jason Takes Manhattan in the past, I'm confident New York will make for an amazing slasher setting. I'm also intrigued by Knock at the Cabin. Good or bad, Shyamalan has never failed to make an entertaining movie, and I'm optimistic based on the source material, this will be one of his good ones. I'm also beyond pumped to check out Evil Dead Rise. I have never watched an Evil Dead movie I didn't completely love, and the apartment setting reminds me a lot of Demons 2, which is maybe my favorite Italian horror film ever. I'm also similarly excited for Insidious 5. The last two movies were admittedly underwhelming, but the original is the movie that got me into horror, and I am very intrigued to see what Patrick Wilson brings as a director. I also do have to mention both Saw 10 and The Exorcist. I wouldn't say I'm purely excited for these as the others, but rather I have a bit of morbid curiosity. Even though I know most of them are total crap, I still have enjoyed every single Saw sequel. They're like fast food to me. I know they're unhealthy, I know I could be watching something more substantial, and yet I just can't resist. At this point, I hope the Saw franchise stops trying with all these lame Jigsaw successor attempts, and just without explanation has Jigsaw come back from the dead. Just say he had an evil twin, or he faked his death. I doubt anyone would care. Logic has already been thrown out the window, fans all love Tobin Bell, and this would allow for the series to pick up where they left off after number 3, and allow them to keep making Saw sequels all the way up to Saw 20. As for The Exorcist, I have very low expectations overall. I have no reason to trust David Gordon Green after what he just did to the Halloween franchise. I also like Blumhouse more than most people, but I have to admit they have had a pretty awful success rate in 2022 between movies like Dashcam and Firestarter and They Slash Them. Call me a purist, but The Exorcist is one of the few horror movies that just never needed a remake. It was perfect the first time, it doesn't need an update for modern audiences. And last, since I don't want to end on two negatives in an otherwise pretty positive video, I'll also say I am pretty excited to see Infinity Pool. Cronenberg Jr. has yet to make a bad film in his very short career. Possessor was one of my favorite films from the year, and when you add in the fact that Mia Goth is starring, I bet Infinity Pool will be the first horror hit of the new year. Alright, and that brings an end to my 2023 preview video. Please in the comments below, let me know what is your most anticipated movie of the upcoming year. Mine personally is a tie between Scream 6 and Evil Dead Rise. As well, please leave a comment if I forgot any movie you're looking forward to. This list was really meant to be more of an overview of the bigger tentpole movies, so I'd love to hear some future indie films that slipped past my radar. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Horror Flicks with Nick. Twice a week I post horror reviews, commentaries, and short recommendations for horror movies you should watch on Netflix and other streaming services. Thanks for watching my 2023 horror preview. Let's all cross our fingers together. This year is full of more hits like Barbarian and Pearl, and features less duds like Halloween Ends and Grim Cuddy.